and the first thing we need to do is to go to GitHub to create a new repository. So we're going to name that new repository. Let me just give it a name, customized Linux VM. So, and after that, let me just make it private, then add readme. So I want to just give this description. Let me say how to use Packer to create a Linux images of Linux virtual machine. Okay, so let me go and create the repository. Okay, so and the next to do is to launch our Visual Studio Code. And so while we're but first we need to even copy the URL of that GitHub the new repository that we just created, and let's just clone that repository to let's clone it. So it is cloning, git repository cloning. So I'm cloning it. I want to have my local on desktop, and I want to have my GitHub repository wherever on GitHub. So after that, let me just go and create a new terminal. Okay, terminal. And so let me change it to git bash. Okay, because it works best with that. Let me delete this PowerShell. Alright, so the first thing here is to actually authenticate Azure. So let me say AZ login use device. Alright, so let me wait. Okay, I should be able to authenticate. Alright, cool. So I'll just press Ctrl key and click on this. So it takes me to the browser. Then I'll go back to copy the code. Alright. So it's just for me to authenticate to Azure. Alright. So it says I can. Okay, let me just Dini. Alright. Continue. Alright, that's fine. Let me go back to my Visual Studio. Let me just enter. Alright, cool. So we're done authenticating. Let me just clear this. So what do I need to do? I need to let me create a new file. That's the configuration file that I want to use. So let me call it ubuntu.pkr.hcl. Alright. So I'll have to copy the configuration file. I have it prepared already. So I'll just paste it here. But first, let me even create a resource group. That's, we've authenticated. So let's say here's a group create my thing. That's name of resource group. Let me give it test RG. Let me make a location. I think that's East-US. That's fine. So alright, cool. So the resource group has been created. So let me just clear this. So let me try and okay, now let me paste the configuration file that I have. Here I will have to from that configuration you can see we have client ID, client secret, subscription, tenant. So to get all this, I will have to go to Azure portal. That's to get it from the service principal. So let me just say let me go back to that's portal.azure.com. Then I can just go to Cloud Shell here. Alright, So that's the command for that, to create for the RBAC contributor role. So I have my client ID and my secret ID, tenant ID, everything, you know. So because I'll delete everything after this class, that's why I've just left it open. So I'll now edit the client ID with what I have on my portal. So then I'll change the client secrets to what I have, copy, go back to, so paste the client secrets. Also, I'll go back and pick, what was the third one, the tenant ID. So let me just copy that back to VS Code. So I'll put that tenant ID. Alright, so I think we need one more, the subscription. So let me just copy that, copy to clipboard. It's up there, you can see subscription ID. So let me just copy that. Alright, so I'll just control save this. Then let me check git add. So git add, let me just start that one. Then git push. No, it can't be push. Let me git this should be status. Let me even check. Alright, it's added. So the next is to commit it. Alright. Normally I can also just add the commit message with that command, but I think sometimes I like to just go this extra mile. So let me just put it inside the configuration, file for the customized for the Linux customized or custom image. So it can be any message. So it's just a descriptive message. So let me just say I'm done with this. Let me just save and exit. Okay. Alright. So what else do I need to do here? Okay, let me just push it first. Push. Alright. So we have that configuration file. I'm trying to push it to GitHub already. Cool. I think that's done. So let me check. I remember we are supposed to even have add the plugins. So because without that plugin, that configuration is useless really. So we need to add the Packer plugin. So I'll pick that from the Packer GitHub repository. Then I'll go and paste it. I'll put it with the configuration file that I had earlier. So let me just put it from the top. Then Control S. Alright. So but we've already pushed to GitHub, so let me even check again to say we've not done that. So let me say git status. Let me check. Oh, you see, it's telling us there is a modified stuff there. So let me just clear that. Let me quickly send that to git add dot. Okay. Alright. So if I check git commit, I don't know why I like going this extra, but let me just do it. Just start -m. So, okay, insert, just type. Alright. Updated configuration Packer. Okay. Config file. Alright, let me just leave it like this. Alright. So what else do I need to do? So let me just let me push now. But from here you must have set so all your configuration started as the git config global, set the email so that you can always push to it. So what next? Let me just initialize that Packer. Let me say just call it Packer init. I need to first initialize Packer init. I need to initialize before I build. That's the order. pkr.hcl. Okay. So let me see, what do we have? Okay, it is initialized, so let me now build. I suspect this will fail because there's a mistake in our configuration file. Packer build ubuntu.pkr.hcl. Alright, okay, so let's wait. What do we have? Okay, yes, I said it. So it's saying build finished, but no artifacts were created. So it's telling us that with error subscription found, no subscription found. The subscription found is this, which is wrong. I think I picked the tenant ID. I use it with the subscription. So let me just change that. Let me check. You see, subscription ID and tenant ID are the same here, which is wrong. So I need to confirm what is the subscription ID really. Let me go back to my portal. Here's my portal, so let me check. Copy. Let's see. Alright. So let me replace that with the correct subscription ID. And that is it. So I can now control save that. Okay. So I'll have to initialize again. Packer init. So initialize with the name of the file, Ubuntu. How am I getting this Packer spelling wrong? Init ubuntu.pkr.hcl. Enter. Okay. So alright, cool, that's initialized. So now I can now build it again. Packer build the file name ubuntu.pkr.hcl. Okay, let's see what's the output for this. Alright, as you can see everything. So I had to even pause this too because it takes time to finish. So let me now use that image to create a virtual machine on Azure. So that's what I need to type azvm create resource group. Let me use my tstrg. Let me call the name of my virtual machine Azure Tutor. Let me call it Azure Tutor Custom. Okay, custom VM. Alright, so let me give it so let me say the location should be, okay, first image. So I have to use the image that I created. Don't forget my Packer image. As you can see, managed image name is up there in the configuration file. So that's what I'm using. Then I'll give it admin username. So let me just call it Azure Tutor. Then let me say okay, generate SSH key. Alright, I think that's fine. Okay, enter. Let me say, oh, there's a mistake, command not found. So where I use zvm instead of azvm, so that's where I made the mistake. This is just a typo error, so I'll have to just correct it by pressing up key, then go and add a to where the z is. That's from the beginning instead of az, type z. Alright, so now we can create a customized image, sorry, virtual machine using the image we created earlier. So this is creating. And don't forget, the configuration file is also, if you check, we have Nginx installed, like that's part of what we configure there to add Nginx to the virtual machine. So that's like this web server. So we can now open, let me just open port 80 so that we can test using the public IP to see if we'll be able to see the Nginx that is part of the configuration file. So that's what I'm doing. Name, let's say Azure Tutor Custom VM. Alright, so the port should be port 80. That's what I want to open. Alright, so here we can now go back to, we can echo this, we can echo the public IP though, but let me just go so that we don't make the video long. Let me just go to let me go to my portal and pick the public IP address, then paste it on the browser. What do we see? Yes, so you can see the Nginx that was part of the configuration file. I hope this helps someone in your cloud journey. Thank you.